to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast. Keep that same energy with your host, Justin P., and my MVP co host, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. This is episode 214. Yes, we've done over 200 episodes for the visual, and then for the audio, as we've done probably about, God knows how many. I know we're on season 5. All the links are right there in the description, to the audio podcast, all platforms. They keep that same energy podcast with Justin P. And it'll pop right on up in your Google or Apple search. Got my guy back on today. I know it's been a minute. We've been tied up with some things. Make sure y'all go support him and my guy for the Way Love Goes podcast. Excuse me, I'm tripping. He goes live on his Facebook page and on their Facebook group page. So y'all go check them guys out. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here's the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, your co-host, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. Yeah.
What's good, people? What's good, people?
Floor
As
yours,
always,
co-host.
man. What's good, people? What's good, people? As always, man. It feels good to be back. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, it might have froze.
Can you hear me? I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not froze at all. Okay, I was about to say. Okay, yeah, man. As always, man, it feels good. It feels good. Say it again.
No. Go ahead. Go.
Oh, all right. As always, it feels good to do this with Big Bro, man. Sorry that I've been busy having a lot of other things going on, working on 2 other podcasts and things like that. As always, Big Bro said it the best, man. You can find me every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, with my show called That's the Way Love Goes, where we build relationships, build real love and real foundation, how it should be, man. But we'll get more into that to another time. But as always, man, you know what time it is when we do this show. As always, man, I'm going to hit you with some opinions. You feel me? Because when it comes to this thing, man, I think hard and I think my opinion matters. And I don't bullshit you. And of course, I'm going to hit you with some emotions because sports, man, it's my first love. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter unless we hit you with the facts.
And that's a fact, Jack. All right, Maurice got some good topics for some great topics, some wrestling stuff. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, So, without further ado, go ahead, co-host. The floor is yours.
I mean, today, man, a lot of topics going to be wrapped around wrestling. I mean, I think right now wrestling is probably getting as more popular as it has been since what I want to say, like during our era growing up as a kid. And right now, man, it's a lot of things going on. I mean, people need to check it out. It's not as lame as some people say it is. So my first topic is, what is your favorite era of wrestling? Because anybody that's a wrestling head, they know it's different eras and not just the years. It's just different eras, attitude, aggression, and things like that. So what is your favorite wrestling era of all time and why?
Oh man, I gotta pick just one.
I mean, you can do you. I'm gonna pick one, but do you? I mean, this our show. Do you?
Nah. I'm gonna stick to the script. I ain't gonna cheat. I'm gonna go with the mid '90s. So that's like the new era, the new era leading into the Attitude Era. Like '95 going into like '95 through '99. That right there, that era was good, man. Because like I said, you had 3 companies going neck to neck each week: ECW, WCW, WWF. And you had all the biggest stars. You had Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Sting, Kevin Nash, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Triple H was emerging. You know what I mean? Like you had Shamrock. You had Ron Simmons, aka Farouk. When you had the Nation of Domination, you had DX, the NWO, man, NWO Wolfpack, man. You had Undertaker and his Legion of Darkness, Vince McMahon, and the corporation, the corporate ministry. So that era right there has to be good for me. That golden era / attitude era, man. That was a good era, especially like I said, not just for WWF, WWE, but also for WCW and ECW, man. That was a good time span for wrestling.
Oh man, I got totally agree with you on that one, man. It was kind of hard for me. I definitely liked the golden era. I'm talking about back in the day with the regular Sting. I wanted to call it Surfboard Sting. I
Yeah,
loved Lex Luger. Definitely with Ric Flair, Ultimate Warrior. Everybody loved Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. I think at that time, as a kid, I mean, my guy was Mr. Perfect. You feel me? So that was definitely a good era. And I wanted to go a little bit after that,
yeah,
like around John Cena. But then I was like, nah, man. In the era with me and you grew up, it was a lot of Hall of Famers. Every time you turned around, it was a Hall of Famer on television, far as ECW, WWE. And WCW, every time you turn around, even all the way down to the cruiserweight to the mid card, there was always a Hall of Famer right there. I mean, people talk about Rey Mysterio now. Rey Mysterio was part of that era back in the day, and him and Eddie Guerrero was hot like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the cruiserweight division. That's the low division. Then when you want to get around the mid card, you got guys like the Chris Jericho's, and before Diamond Dallas Page made it to the main event level, talking about guys like that. It was always Hall of Famers everywhere you turn around. And then we already know Goldberg, Sting, as far as the WWE, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, you feel me? Then when you go to ECW, you had Rhino, you had Rod Van Dam, Sabu. So I definitely love our era the most. One of my greatest and memorable moments is when DX was what started.
mhm,
And then I mean, before they had X Pac and all, I'm talking about when it was Triple H, Rick Rude, China, and Shawn Michaels. I remember that them doing their thing, and it was so excited to see that. Like, yo, I couldn't wait to be a part of that. And then you know what's so crazy? I am a huge fan of the NWO right now. I am a huge fan. That's one of my favorite facts of all time. But when the NWO first came out, I was scared, man. I was like, man, they really coming down here to beat WCW WS. Because I mean, I was a fan of guys like Alex Wright, guys like that. So I already knew when I seen Hall and Nash coming over there, I was like, oh, they ain't got a chance. And then you already know every time you looked around, the NWO had everybody in there from Ted DiBiase, um, Horace, Buff Bagwell. I mean, they had everybody. Scott Steiner. So I was like, yeah, the guys who I like in WCW going to get squashed. And it was really scary because at that time, what the Four Horsemen was the worst bad guys of all time, and then the NWO was fucking them up. So yeah,
yeah.
I was really scared around that time. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say that attitude area because around that time I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan. Even when Shawn Michaels left, I still stayed in DX. I was a Triple H guy, so I definitely got to get that era. And I mean, one of the most tragic things happened, of course, Owen Hart situation. How could you forget that situation right there and all that?
Mhm.
The Bret Hart screw job. Stone Cold becoming who he is. I mean, we literally watched live Rock go from Rocky Maivia to Rocky Johnson to The Rock. Like we watched all that for real. So I think that's one of the well, not one of, but in my opinion, I think that's the best era. But some people will probably say it debatable. All
It
right,
all depends. It all depends on the age group who you asking.
facts. Because I know some people who say John Cena is the best wrestler of all time. He's good, but not the best of all time.
Yeah.
Um, Okay. Give me your top 10 wrestlers. And I want to make sure I explain this right because there's going to be some people on my list where people going to question like, well, they did have a good run in this. No. This is what I mean when I say you didn't cut it as a star. You probably was the man as a tag team, you feel me? And even a man as mid card. But when it was time for you to put the heavyweight title on you, the company didn't trust you to take it to the top. And these people that I got on my list, they did have a singles career and did get a chance to get promoted to be a WWE champion, but they couldn't hold it on a mic or they couldn't hold it with the crowd. So there will be some guys on my list who were great tag team partners, but when they went solo, they couldn't do it. And there was a lot of people who were tag team partners and did go solo. Scott Steiner, Booker T, for example. So go ahead, you give me your 10 guys if you got 10, who you had faith in and who you thought was going to be stars, but WWE never put the title on.
WWE or just any wrestling
Just
promotion.
any, yep,
Yeah.
any wrestler, like you said, any wrestler.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that stay within the guidelines of your show. All right. Definitely go with Billy Gunn.
Mm.
Billy Gunn, because like I said, he was that guy. They wanted him to be that guy, but instead they had him, doing gay gimmicks. And no offense to nobody, we're non-homophobic here. I can speak for me and Maurice both, but I'm just speaking the facts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Billy Gunn, like he had all that talent, especially he's an Intercontinental champion, hardcore champion, European champion, 7-time champion. It was like well, there was nothing else left but to get the main enchilada, and I guess Vince felt like he didn't really have mic skills because he only said two things. If you ain't down with that, you can suck it. That's it. So I guess that probably held him back. He was just a good wrestler, but definitely Billy Gunn. I'm gonna go with, unfortunately, rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they just in both promotions they didn't give him the chance to be a world champion.
The only
WCW, the guy they go ahead.
the only thing I was just gonna add, I felt like he was too greedy when he was Razor Ramon because I don't think he gave them a chance. Like I know you've seen stories where they were saying at one time he was the hottest wrestler for his merchandise and all that, and I think he went after the money instead of staying there and went to WCW and did what he did. But I think if he would have stayed there, I think he probably would have been champion. But I definitely agree with you because once he became Scott Hall, he never came close to it again. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. You never know. He probably could have got a title shot if he was stayed put. But definitely, like I said, in WCW, they was going to give it to him a couple of times, but then Hogan wanted to never run, or it was Flair, or it was Sting, or it was Nash, and then Scott Steiner became a champion, but for him, and I was blown, and Jeff Jarrett. So I'm like, what the hell?
Mm,
Not Scott Hall.
definitely Jeff Jarrett.
So that's number two. Number three, yeah. Number three, I'm gonna go with D'Lo Brown,
Ooh.
another guy that was an Intercontinental champion, European champion, one tag team, and one hardcore gold. It was only one more thing left, but what hurt him being behind the Rock and the Nation and Domination, and always playing that second fiddle. So that kind of hurt him. Like I said, he had a hell of a singles career, but I guess Vince was like, I don't know if we're gonna pop with the crowd like that. His mic skills were okay, not the best. So when you're a champion, you're gonna have to speak a lot. Like you're gonna have to talk because you're gonna have to do promos. You're gonna have to, even if you're a heel or babyface, you're gonna be in front of the camera a lot. So I guess his mic skills wasn't good enough. So definitely D'Lo Brown. Number four, let's see. Hmm. This is gonna be interesting right here. Number four. I'm gonna go with Dolph Ziggler.
And the
Dolph
funny thing, he
Ziggler.
was
Like I said,
champion, but you absolutely right. That's the joke on him all the time that he couldn't cut it.
yeah, he just couldn't get over. He was, been in business for been 30, 14 years. He didn't had guys like the Miz and all them surpassed, one more goal, Seth Rollins, all, et cetera, et cetera. And the Miz was, he was tough enough, so he'd been around them. I mean, not the, yeah, the more the Miz was. I'm just saying, but Dolph Ziggler, he just, I don't know, he just always get the raw end of the stick, man, so, and he's a talented wrestler. My skills wasn't bad, but I don't know. I guess Vince didn't trust him to carry the company. So I got Dolph Ziggler at four. Number five, Stevie Ray.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You steal it from my list.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Nah, because like I said, great tag team champion. Never really got a chance to be the man. So I guess Booker T lived in his brother's shadow, so to say. And it's not a bad thing, but be like that sometimes. When somebody shines, somebody else going to be in the back and on the rearview mirror. So definitely Stevie Ray. I think he could have been a good champion. But like I said, when your brother was successful as well, somebody, like I said, somebody gotta be Scottie Pippen. Everybody can't be Michael Jordan.
Facts.
Uh that's what, five right there. Huh? I could squeeze for
Hmm.
five more. Hmm, let's see. Damn, this is getting interesting here. I'm gonna go with X Pac.
Okay.
Another one was a hardcore champion, Intercontinental, European champion, tag champion. But just even as the 1, 2, 3 kid, I guess they feel like he couldn't. He didn't have enough. I don't know to be a world champion. His mic skills were okay, but like I said, but he was definitely phenomenal in the ring because he studied martial arts and all that. That's why he always do that spinning heel kick.
Hmm.
Then being in the faction with Triple H and Shawn Michaels don't help you either. Like you say, you're arguing two of the best to ever do it in that company. So it's like he kind of got tossed to the wayside. So definitely X Pac at number six. Number seven, I'm gonna go with back into the DX stable again. Road Dog Jesse James.
Mm, mm,
Mr.
mm, mm.
Oh, you didn't know. His mic skills
Yeah.
was superb. So that wasn't it. Maybe he didn't have pop. I don't world champion again. When you're in a stable with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, you're gonna get the red and you're gonna get the show the end of the stick. So, definitely Road Dog just the 7. Number 8, let's go MVP. Yeah,
You said
let's go
MVP?
MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a United States champion, and I think he won a tag belt. But like I said, never really got to that mantle to be the man. So yeah, definitely MVP at 8, 9. Hmm. Hey, let's see, number 9. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor. Yeah, because like the most they're gonna give him, say like is a Universal Championship belt at the most, and I don't even think he gonna win this heavyweight belt from Seven. Seven keep beating him. I don't know. His mic skills are okay, and then the Judgment Day thing is okay, but it's like he really don't even know who the real leader. It could be like Triple H was saying Saturday after the press conference. I stayed up and watched it. He said, "Man, you don't really know who's the sole leader. Is it him? Is it Damien? Is it Red? Like So it's like it's just things like that. So Finn Balor at 9, number 10. Hmm. I'm gonna go with the Big Show because they should have done. He could have done a little bit more. More. I think
Yeah.
he was a world WWF champion for a day. Remember he lost it against The Rock the very next fight on Raw. That was after Stone Cold got hit by a car. Summer Survivor Series. So definitely it was he definitely could have got used a little bit better. And then I got one more too. I'm gonna go Kane.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's because reason being because he definitely could have got more as far as a champion. He only had it for 24 hours, and I remember he beat Stone Cold in the first blood match. Undertaker interfered. He lost it the next night on Raw. So definitely Kane. As far as tag teams, all that stuff, he's great. But as far as being a champion, like you said, so this was about being a champion. Yeah, I guess they feel like he couldn't cut it. Plus, like I said, being the screenplay brother of the Undertaker don't help either. So yeah, that was my 10 right there.
Okay. Okay. Uh, very interesting list, but nonetheless, it's a good list as well. All right. The first one I'm gonna start off when this one hurts me daily. Hey, bro, I gotta tell you this. You gotta know. I felt like Buff Bagwell was Tracy McGrady of the WCW. I mean, you know how Tracy
That's a
McGrady.
fair. That's a very fair. That's a great comparison. That's a great comparison.
Yeah, because if anybody know basketball, a lot of people, if you know it, they compare Tracy McGrady to Kobe Bryant, like they almost the same player. I think the only problem was Tracy McGrady's injury. Now they go back to Buff Bagwell, it was the same thing. I'm buff, I'm tough, and I'm the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough. I mean, he had the words, he had the body, he had a high flying finishing move, and he had strong big moves. And everybody know when he used to and do the muscles. I mean, he did his thing. And they really loved him in WCW when he became a singles guy and left the NWO. Like he really had a chance out there. He really was handling his money. Um, I think the reason why he didn't get a chance in WCW for the heavyweight title is because that whole angle around Goldberg, the NWO, and Sting was too big for him. That's what I'll say. That's why he didn't get it there because he was right there where he needed to be at that time, carrying the hell out of mid card, and he was showing you so much like yo, man, he could be the heavyweight champion. So I assume when he went to WWE, he was gonna have that same swagger, that same flair, and nowhere near did it happen. Nowhere near did it happen. Not even close. I don't even think he was sniffed a title shot, title contention, or anything. I think it was more like they brought him there to see if he still had it with the fans, to see if his reaction, not even to see if he could wrestle, because there's a lot of times where wrestling is almost like rap. You could be a great rapper, but because you ain't got the persona for the fans, they're not going to get you. And he's definitely a good wrestler. You feel me? He's definitely underrated. But what happened was they didn't give my man a chance for real. And to me, I think they really didn't give a chance because I remember when Buff Bagwell debuted in WWE, and it seemed like even though I was at home, I was the only one excited. He didn't get no major crowd roar like when Chris Jericho and all these other guys came. So Buff Bagwell, hands down, number one on my list. Number two, as you just mentioned, Billy Gunn. I was expecting Billy Gunn to definitely be WWE champion by
I'm a,
far.
I'm a ass man.
Yes, I mean that song. He had like two finishing moves. The famous, first of all, the famous that was hard as shit. It went clearly with his ass gimmick. Then the one and only. I like that. And when he became the one Billy Gunn, I definitely thought he was going to become a champion because you know how they do, kind of similar to what they did to JBL. When he was Bradshaw doing a good guy character and all that shit, he was the fun-loving guy where he was just a tag team champion and didn't go any higher. But when he became a bad guy, JBL, and I thought the same thing was going to happen with the one Billy Gunn. Once he started turning bad, he turned his move into the one and only and all that. It just didn't go out. And as you said, no disrespect to gay people, you can do whatever you want to do. But when he started doing that crazy shit with Chuck Palumbo and all that, started becoming a sideshow.
You are so beautiful.
Crazy. Like that was a waste of talent for real. That was a waste of talent. He's somewhat kind of doing that now in AEW because you know one of the dudes that he in a group with, one of them was gay.
Yeah, Anthony Bones from the Claim. Yeah.
All right, next one. This one right here, because everybody on this list is gonna hurt my heart. The next one on this list, Disco Inferno.
Hold on. Destroyer 52 said
Mm-hmm.
Austin, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, Bobby Lashley, Sting, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, The Rock. Oh, you just named the All-Star roster, Destroyer. No, go ahead, Maurice. I was just reading that comment.
Okay, next on my list, man, this is another one that hurt me. I forgot how he used to win as a kid, and then I had to go look at how he was a winner. Disco Inferno, and his move was the Stone Cold Stunner. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yes, man. I love when he joined the Wolfpack. I love when he joined the NWO. I mean, I was like, oh my god, his career is definitely.
His move was the stunner. Well done. Think about it, damn sure.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, my man on his way up.
He just didn't kick you in the belly. He just came and just hit you with it.
He just grabbed you and did it.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. You bringing back some memories, man. I remember him and Alex Wright won the tag team. I forgot
they were dancing together.
It was team dance something. You probably come to it.
Yeah,
they won it, and Alex Smith he was dancing, and Disco did this. They was like having like a little dance off.
Absolutely, you got it. But to get a name for the moves, Stone Cold, he kick you. That one's called the Wind Snapper. Because I got WWE the game, so when you go through his move on there, Disco Inferno move on, so it's basically called the Wind Snapper. But I thought he was going to do something, and then when he came to WWE, nothing, not a reaction, not nothing at all, and I think it was just because. That Disco Inferno, unless he would have turned up his gimmick, he would have got something, but he came there being Disco Inferno. And I mean, it was more like the fans know who you is. Like right now, if he was to make a comeback, he would probably get a roar, like because people know who he is, but don't nobody want to see Disco Inferno. So that's who I got at number 3. At number 4, this one again is getting Ray hurt me. Pause. I'm gonna say a pause moment right here. Yo, Billy Kidman looked it good when he had that tank top on with the jeans. That when he had the flies of what was that?
Shooting Star Press.
Oh my! And he did it so elegantly. I mean, I when he was the cruiserweight champion, I was happy as a mug. I ain't gonna lie. At that point, I think in WCW, I think my top guys was Sting, him. I just said Buff Bagwell, and DDP by far was my favorite WCW guy right there. But yo, I love Billy Kidman, yo, especially when I was happy as shit when he left the flock, did his own thing, and it was like this when he was the cruiserweight champion. I'm not trying to take anything away from the other cruiserweight champions, but because he was in that Raven flock and they was always using trash cans and all that, yo, he brought that ECW to the cruiserweight. Like he was using those in those matches.
Raven came from there. That's
Oh yeah. Of course.
They had that Lord, him and Sick Boy and all them and Reese.
Yeah, and yeah, man. I Billy Kidman, and funny that you said that. Going into my next one, Raven. Oh my God, bro! I wanted Raven to be the man so bad. Yeah. The even flow DDT. What a hell of a name! What a hell of a name! He had the flock. And in the flock, right, he had every level of everything. He had the cruiserweight. He had a big dude that was like the same size as the Giant in case he had problems.
He had the hardcore champion and Chris Canyon.
Yeah, he had Chris Canyon. Yo, I forgot that. I remember I knew all that man's all that names and all that. Matter of fact,
Raven, Chris Canyon, Sick Boy, Billy Kidman, I forgot the other one.
And
I think I named all of them.
And I'm glad that you said that too, because back in the day, right? Remember when Billy Kidman was with them? He used to just scratch himself. His move was called the 7-year itch. On the top before he went back and before he was calling. I mean, after it was called the 7-year itch first, and then when he came by himself, he went back to his original name called the 450 splash. But yo, I mean, Billy Kid. I mean, Raven. I wanted him to be the man. Actually, out of all the people that fought Goldberg, the only times I ever wanted Goldberg to lose was in these matches. I wanted Kevin Nash to beat him. I wanted DDP to beat him. I wanted Sting, and I definitely wanted Raven to beat him. And to see when Raven hit him with that DDT, and he just got right back up like it was nothing. I mean, it was crazy. I still remember Raven getting speared like it was yesterday, still with the shirt wrapped around his pants and all that, and it was nothing they could do.
That kicked off the win. That kicked off Goldberg winning streak.
Yeah, and so that's who I have at Buff Bagwell, Billy Gunn, Billy Kidman, Raven at 4, 5. I said Disco Inferno. Okay, at number 6. Dean Malenko. Out of everybody in the
yes. How did I forget him? Yes. They dropped the ball with him, man. They dropped
the ball with him. I mean, even all the way down to Perry Saturn. I mean, even though Perry Saturn didn't become a champion, everybody had a good singles career besides him. I don't know what it was. I mean, he had one of the perfect nicknames.
Heavyweight champ. He was a cruiserweight champion and all that, but that was it.
It was small. Yeah, it was real small. I mean, a man of 1,000 holes. One thing I can say I love about Dean Malenko the most, man, I think he had some of the most best of ring attire. I love his trunks. I love this. What's his name? What his name? The Iceman too. I want to make sure I'm correct, right? The Iceman Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. And then what was his move called? It
was the 4-leaf clover.
Oh, come on, man! And that 4-leaf clover looked good. He really had your leg looking like a 4. You feel me? Bending you back like that. I wish
it was a reverse version of Figure 4.
You see what I'm saying? And I just wish that he would at least had a run with him and Chris Jericho going there, because that's what made me like Chris Jericho like that.
Was intense. That robbery, he talked about his father and all that, man. Like, it was intense.
So I mean, I definitely wish Dean Malenko would have got more. I mean, you remember everybody from the Radicals except for really Dean Malenko. You feel me? That's who I got at 6. At number 7, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wanted Wayne Barrett to be that man. I ain't gonna lie.
I missed a lot of his career because by then I got turned off from wrestling once WCW got bought out. I saw a little bit of him, but not a lot.
And what happened was he was supposed to be what Drew McIntyre is right now to WWE. That's who he was supposed to be. You feel me? And it was like he dropped the ball. I mean, he had one of them great moves. The Lord take off his thing and forearm smash to the face, which was so deadly. And it was one of those moves like I believed, like the Sweet Chin Music. And I was like, yo, what's going on here? Like, I mean, he had Nexus. He had all these guys. He was beefing with the right guys, John Cena, CM Punk. He was beefing with the main event guys, but didn't get it. And I guess they didn't like him. And now they like him on the mic at commentary. So that's what I got at 7. Number 8, you probably don't remember, but when Rick Steiner had his singles, when Rick Steiner went singles, it was whack.
Of course.
It was
terrible.
And even when and they even tried to make this guy a bad guy, and I was like, nah. When he was a good guy, you could still get people saying who. But when they try to make him the go to the championship being a bad guy, it was horrible. Every time I seen Rick, I was like, where's Scott? That's all I kept saying during that time. So that's all I gotta say about him. At number 9.
That's why NXT pushing his son the way they pushed it.
Yeah, because his son a bad mom. His son a bad man.
NXT. Yeah, that's why they doing that, because they know they fucked that money up with his father.
Okay. All right. Here I go at number 9. This guy right here, he was supposed to be one of the first bad guys that really make it big to me in my era, in our era. William Regal. I don't know how he wasn't WWE champion. I mean, I know his people didn't like his decorum and all that, but I mean, the guy was the equivalent of Ric Flair. If you go look at William Regal, he wrestled like Ric Flair, beat your whole entire body, did submissions on you. And if you watch William Regal, he did some of the hardest moves on you. His neck breaker looked like he really broke your neck. Y'all talk about the European uppercut now. Look at them European uppercuts back in the day when I used to hate William Regal. Every time he did the European uppercut or did a cheap shot move. And come on, man. Hey, JP. How this man wasn't champion?
Hey, Reese. You know who he's supposed to be? He's supposed to be what Gunther is today. Regal. He's supposed to be what Gunther is. Tell me I'm lying.
You ain't. You ain't.
He's supposed to be like how with Gunther is. That supposed to have been William Regal.
Exactly.
That that foreigner that was dominant. Like you know what I mean. Like that supposed to have been him.
And hold on, since you brought up Gunther, just like Gunther, he was doing them goddamn slaps across the chest. He was definitely wearing you out doing it. And I want to know this. This is my favorite part. How he wasn't champion and he was the master of the brass knuckles. I mean, always had him in the trunks. He could at least got one WWE off of doing that alone. I mean, come on, for God's sakes, y'all let Christian be champion. I would have William Regal over Christian any day. I'm just being real. As far as being a technical wrestler, and people hated William Regal because he played that bad guy role the right way. Christian just good at being an asshole. And then last but not least, you feel me? I hated this guy. MVP to me was the worst wrestler of all time. I hated his finishing move.
The best thing about him was his entrance music was so Shaka.
Yeah. But I hated this guy. I mean, literally everything
That's
about him.
why he stayed. That's why he literally stayed relevant because of his music. I'm coming because of that.
Yeah.
You know that was the hardest thing about him. That was it.
Yeah, I think right now he's just going to have to turn it up far as being a next Paul Heyman with this new group that they got coming out.
Yeah, he
the Hurt
killing that.
Business.
He killing that part of his career. He definitely on this Paul Heyman, Teddy Long, Bobby Heenan, that heel manager. He killing that. I give him that.
Yeah, and that's who I got at number 10. All right, topic 3. Now, we all wish we had a stable. I mean, well, this is not what I mean when I make sure I say it correctly. We all like stables like WC, like the Four Horsemen, the NWO. You know what I'm saying? DX. And I know sometimes we wish that everybody in that group held the championship. And I wish we did see more groups like that where every single person in the group held a title. So what I want you to do is create a faction. You don't have to give it a name, but in your faction, give me every guy in your faction, every era, and then you already know how the belts is ranked from the top one. From the who would you have as the WWE Universal Champion, the WWE Heavyweight Champion, and then so far and on. So make your roster, make your stable, and I want to hear all your champions all the way down to your 2 women's champions. Let me know if you want to unify the tag team champions or you got 2 different tag team champions for Raw and SmackDown. So you go ahead whenever you're ready.
This is good. Oh yeah. All right. So I'll get the names first, then I'll put the belts on them. I'll do it like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Roman Reigns because he's some dominant right now. So I gotta put him in there. I'm gonna go with Sting. All right, so I got 3. Then I'm going to go with the Undertaker. Yeah, so that's 4 right there. Let's see. Let's go with Kane.
Okay, getting a little scary over there.
I got to mix it because Roman Reigns and The Rock, they can be some scary guys too, right? When they get mad. I'm gonna go with let's see, let's throw some tag teams in there. I'm gonna go with the Usos. They in there. And then I'm gonna go with Sid Vicious. Gotta add another crazy motherfucker there. Goldberg, and then as far as my women, I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch, Jade Cargill, and I'm gonna go with let's go Sasha Banks, and let's go Bianca Belair. Heavyweight the undisputed champion. I'm gonna keep it on Roman. World heavyweight champion. I'm gonna put it on The Rock, of course, from Undertaker can get the Intercontinental. Let's see. US can go to. That can go to Sid Vicious. Tag teams, of course, we unify them, the Usos. Like I said, women's champion, I put that on Bianca Belair. Women's tag team, I can go Becky Lynch, and I'll go Sasha Banks.
Okay, all right.
I think I named all of them, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Now me, I'm definitely gonna mix it up and make it a little fire. Me, my guys from different eras gonna be pretty much the NWO guys, but my version of the NWO. The undisputed champion by far Hulk Hogan. I ain't gonna lie, I love Hulk Hogan when he was NWO Hulk Hogan. To me, I think when he became that, I think he surpassed everybody as best bad guy of all time. You feel me? I mean, in my order, just real
Yeah,
quick, and I go
and it's crazy. And it's crazy, real quick, Maurice. That
go ahead.
change was so bold because it was a bold change for Eric Bischoff to do that because we know Hulk Hogan is Hulkamania, basically a superhero, the wrestling version of Superman, the American hero. So it was like for him to make the suggest he turned heel was like it was genius.
Yeah, man. When he was what's his name, he was so snakish, vicious. He kept the title a lot of times because he cheated. He made sure every opponent that he fought, they got their ass whipped by the entire NWO. I mean, he was the man. He was doing his thing out there. And the thing I was gonna make it real quick. My top three villains of all time is Hulk Hogan, Triple H at number two because what he was doing that Triple H had me scared of that sledgehammer. And then last but not least, the great
I
main
still
event,
don't
Ric
like this
Flair
motherfucker.
by far.
I, yeah. I still don't like Triple H to this day. How he was doing my man, The Rock.
See,
Yeah, yeah, man. I was like,
yeah.
bitch.
Facts. So as I said, my universal champion by far is Hulk Hogan. Um no, my bad, undisputed Hulk Hogan. We already know Shawn Michaels was a part of the NWO before, so he would be my heavyweight champion. My uh throw some little spice on there. I would want Owen Hart in the NWO. I think he would look good in the NWO. Give me
He
Owen
would have
Hart.
he would have fit in. He would have fit in because Brett was in it, so he
And
would have fit in. He would have fit in.
that's my Intercontinental champion. Next up, DDP was the man in WCW. You feel me? When he was holding didn't they have a US heavyweight champion, television champion, and US championship? He was holding both of them and was the man. And why he's over here. And side note, he is real life cool with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. I mean, technically, he damn near in the clique. You feel me? Because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash got him the job in WCW when they were saying he was too old to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
So I got him as the U.S. champion. You already know where I'm going with this. I'm unifying the tag team championships, Hall and Nash, by far. It ain't even no what's the name, no question. My two women's champion, I'm going for Raw's women's champion. I'm going with China. SmackDown women's champion, by far, I'm going with Mia Ripley. And then
Yeah.
for the tag team champions, I'm going with Becky Lynch and give me Ronda Rousey. We would be some dirty people. I could just see them being together. That would be nasty and dirty right there. We like they probably could take that over. Now, to me, I think this is probably going to be, besides everything else we already talked about, was already interesting. But I can't wait to hear this right here. Give me your top five wrestling rivals of all time. It doesn't matter the order. Give me your
Oh yeah.
top
This
five wrestling
this is.
rivals.
I was waiting for this one out of all of them. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just no order because it's kind of unfair to do order. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna just go and put them in a row and then go from there. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, because they real life hated each other.
Woo!
They real life hated each other. That's why that fucking screw job was so like iconic because of the real life hate. He spit in Vince McMahon face and all that. Yeah, like that. That's gonna be talked about to we old ass men. Like our kids gonna be talking about that. Uh, Stone Cold versus The Rock, of course. Like us, definitely that was great. You know, Triple H versus The Rock.
Mm.
Like I'm at three already, man. I wish you
Matter of
would
fact,
say,
if you want to go to 10, go in because you just
yeah,
you
yeah.
just ripping. Go ahead.
I'm gonna need 10, bro, for sure.
Go ahead.
Hogan versus Flair,
Mm.
definitely. Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. Hogan versus Macho Man. Undertaker versus Kane. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. The
Mm.
Rock versus John Cena. The Rock versus Kurt Angle. And my last one, The Rock versus Booker T.
That's now that one is. I think that one is very underrated. That's a very underrated one. And the whole time people don't know that The Rock got the rock bottom from Booker T's booking.
Yeah, he
They
did.
don't even know that.
He did. He
Okay.
did.
What happened is you just made me add five more to my
What's,
list. Okay.
what's up, Reg? Big Reg in here. What's up?
What's good with your big rash? Okay,
Go ahead.
Ric
Now I'm
Flair
listening,
and Ricky
Bobby. Finish the
Steamboat.
shit.
I like that one. I definitely like that one. All right,
That's a
let
good
me
one.
jump.
That's a good one, Reg.
Let me jump into the first one.
Go ahead.
Of course, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, when it first started, even before Hulk Hogan was joined the NWO, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they was whipping everybody in the WCWS. You really thought that they had came from up top and came down here. You feel me? To go handle their business down. Well, everybody basically thought that Vince McMahon sent them down here to do their thing. And before, like I said, before they even teamed up with Hogan, they was whipping people ass. Then they joined with Hogan. So I would have to say WCW versus the NWO. That one right there. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, that well, yeah. Ooh, they had a whole show and segment and game for that.
weeks after weeks. And I mean, as a kid, I used to think like, yo, two guys or three guys really about to beat up the whole WCW, and it was happening. It was happening for a while before other guys
Nah,
started joining.
Yeah, NWO was deep, man. It was to the point they called that shit Monday Night Nitro NWO.
Yeah,
That shit was
yeah, it
deep.
was like that was game. That was almost some blood, some Crips type thing. So that's why I got it number one.
Yeah,
Number two, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, back in the day, I was scared of the NWO. So was so happy to see Sting coming from everywhere, coming out the rafters, coming out the roof,
yeah.
coming under the ground.
That was iconic right there, man. That was
I
iconic.
mean, people who
Yeah.
need to go back and check out the memories, go to YouTube right now and look at the combination Sting versus the NWO. They're going to show you from when they was like when Sting turned
Yeah.
his back and said,
That shit
"Well, with
might that
Sting."
shit might be that shit might be an hour and some change long.
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, with Sting, you'll never know." And this is what he had the black and white face paint on, and you didn't know who he was going to join. You feel me?
Crow.
From Grant, from
Just say Crow Sting. They already know.
Crow
Just
Sting.
say
Yeah,
Crow
yeah. I
Sting.
mean, because I mean
Yeah,
that was
just say
huge.
yeah.
Yeah, that was huge to me.
Yeah,
Ne-
yeah, I
Go ahead.
said that one, Rage. That was one of my last ones. No, go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm just reading the comments.
Next on my list, by far, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. I mean, that whole rivalry, and I think I got more in tune to it. Like around the time when I got in
Yeah.
tune to it, is when DX was starting to form. Back in the day when Shawn Michaels didn't even have the Sweet Chin Music as a finisher, these guys was beefing and stuff like that. So I by far got put this, and anybody who know me, man, Shawn Michaels is in my top
That
five of
was
all
real
time.
live.
Sometimes,
That was real live heat though. They just now
yeah,
a couple years ago finally like put it to bed. You feel me?
yeah, and some people who know me, I mean, why I wear earrings and all that. Damn near Shawn Michaels probably is my favorite wrestler of all time. You feel me?
Bret
So I
Hart.
gotta put him up there. So that's at number three. At number four, you feel me? I don't know if you said this one, but Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon. Oh my goodness, man. That right there was heat. Always heat.
That one slipped me. That slipped me. That slipped me. Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I mean the fact that they was always going at it. He was remember that episode where when he tried to make Stone Cold wear a suit. And then he hit him in his balls with the ring and all that shit, gave him a stunner. I mean, he always was giving Vince McMahon a stunner. I mean, everybody remember the beer truck. Everybody remember the Corporate Ministry, how he used to
The
take them
work,
dudes on by
you know, it's
himself.
crazy. The crazy,
What's up?
you know, it's crazy. The working people lived through Stone Cold Steve Austin. That boss got on their nerves. They lived through Stone Cold Steve Austin. Feel me?
Facts.
That
Facts.
gave them some peace of mind. Like, hey, just the shit that they could, if they had the chance and could do it, what they would do to their boss.
And we already know back in the day, in the 90s, beers was the shit. So you already know Stone Cold had the whole America on his back, especially when he was coming down to that. All right.
Yeah.
So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Here go 5. Now this one right here, you feel me? I ain't mad at you that you missed one. The Invasion era when it was WWE versus WCW,
I ain't gonna.
ECW.
They dropped the ball with that. That's why I don't
You,
talk about that as much. That stopped me.
I mean,
That made me cut wrestling off. Like
oh,
for 20 years because of that shit.
that I ain't gonna lie. Around that
Man,
time, that's what made
the
me
ball. They dropped the ball with that so bad. No Goldberg, no
out
Sting. You had
now.
Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo as your top guys. Like really?
Now I agree with you on that, where they were scattered all over the place, and I think what happened was you had a roster. That's what I'm gonna say this before I don't want to get too much off subject. I'm gonna blame Vince McMahon. That's what you get for buying those two companies. You bought those two companies, and you had all that talent on there, and you didn't know who to mix it with. You didn't know who to keep, and you didn't know how to do this, that, and third. And I mean,
they botched the fuck out of that, man. They
yeah,
should
and
have
the
put
only reason
Hardy
why I
in there.
liked it is because that's around that time when the when Stone Cold started saying what. That everybody know that's probably one of the greatest catchphrases of all time. And then it was
Yeah,
like this when Stone Cold was already a bad guy or was already doing what he do. But when he got with the invasion, it was even like he became even bad. Like he was beating the shit out people with steel chairs ridiculously. Him and Triple H became that what's it called, the two-man power trip. They was
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
heavyweight champions, Intercontinental champions, and they was the tag team
tag
champions.
team champions. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, Vince McMahon was relying on Kurt Angle to save the day. You feel me? And The Rock to save the day.
and
It was,
and
it
the
was, it was beautiful. And to me, I liked it because it was back and forth. Kurt Angle did wind up trading on them, doing some. I think he did some. I gave the Angle slam to The Rock, but I liked that one because before I go to the next one, the thing I remember.
no, he that was Jericho gave Rock the Russian leg sweep. Then Kurt Angle hit Stone Cold with the belt at the end, and
Yeah, yeah.
The Rock gave
Okay.
Stone Cold the Rock bottom. That's how they won.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. And I just
Hold
remember.
Reds and the NOA versus NOD, yeah, Nation Domination versus this the Potlatch of Disciples. Yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah, they was
that was
definitely
a good
good.
one.
And I just remember the last week before I go to the next one. I just remember when it was. I think it was The Rock and somebody in the ring, and Dudley boys and all these boys came out there to help him. And then all of a sudden, you realize that all these dudes with ECW, they just start whip. No, it was Kane and somebody. It was Kane and somebody, and they just start whipping their ass. So at number 6, I gotta go Hogan and Flair. Everybody, I mean, Hogan and Flair was one of the definitely main reasons why I got into wrestling because I liked them a lot, both of those guys. That's 6. Number 7, Hogan and Macho Man. Number 8, I gotta add my man Shawn Michaels one more time. It was him versus Triple H. Number 9, Undertaker versus Kane. Uh, and this is the last one more. I gotta go with Kane versus Mankind. Now the reason why I saved those two for last is because those were the first 2 times where I thought, the Kane Undertaker got his number. Undertaker getting his ass whipped. Like we never seen nobody dominate the Undertaker. Nothing like Kane was going at him. Mankind was littler than him. Was going. I mean, everybody can talk about all the times that he threw him off the ropes and he
Mick
threw him off the
Foley
cage.
was a tough son of a gun, man.
Yo,
Good God
go
Almighty,
look at when he was Mankind, the one when he was pulling his hair out. You feel me? Had that thing on it. Yo, he was whipping the Undertaker ass back then. Like people need to go look at that.
Especially in that Boiler Room match, he gave his
The
ass
Boiler
every
Room.
one.
Yo, bro. I think some people they just be stuck in the moment, so all they remember is Nick Foley going on the cage. No, don't go look at that Nick Foley. Go look at the Mankind when he was Mankind. Wasn't getting called Foley and none of that shit. Yo, he was destroying the Undertaker a lot.
Nah, fuck
Kane.
that. When he was Cactus Jack, that's probably when he was at his best.
Yeah, yeah. And hey, it's funny that he say Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. I just was watching Marty Jannetty, what's it called? Dark Side of the Ring, and how he just blundered. You saw it? How he just blundered his career. He could have had a chance.
I watched him, his, and Abdullah the Butchers back to back.
Yeah, you see, he had a chance to be something like Shawn Michaels, but he totally blundered, especially when he took the police scooter and ran the dude over and the thing. That we're getting into another time, but I really ain't never like Marty Jannetty like that. But it goes to see behind closed doors, people be having a chance to be something, then they ruin it. Also, side note, like prime example, Rod Van Dam. Rod Van Dam had a chance to do something, but he kept doing, getting drunk and doing all the extra shit. And oh yeah, the Owen Hart versus Bret Hart. Yeah, I feel like
that was WrestleMania 10. I remember that.
I think if they would have kept his ass at Owen Hart and not played them mind games, had him in the Nation Domination, that blue bullshit, Owen Hart would be alive right now.
Oh yeah, the Blue Heart, Blue Heart, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Topic number 5. Now let's get a little bit of serious right here, even though we've been talking serious the whole time. Topic 5. Just give me your thoughts, your feelings on this whole baseball season for the Orioles. Number 1 right now. They're number 1. They're number 1 in the AL East. You feel me? 70-43. I'm about to take a look at it. I think they was losing the last time I checked it. They was losing 3-0 versus the Astros. I'm gonna go ahead and check right now. But while I go ahead and do that, give me your thoughts and opinions on with this great turnaround that the Orioles having, because we've been sucking for years. And right
Yeah.
now they losing mid of the seventh. Astros 3, Orioles coming back is 3-2.
Yeah, they man, it's a rebound season, man. Like I said, shout out to Brandon Hyde. You know, we it's our first time being in first place since 2014. Last time we won the
Mm.
division championship. Last time we made the playoffs 2016. So like Buck, you know, a legend, but you know, it was time, man. You needed some fresh blood in there. And he doing his thing, man. Cedric doing his thing. Rushman, I think I said his name right. He doing his thing. You know, a couple of the young elderly, he doing his thing. Like the young boys, they playing ball, man. They playing ball. The pitching got better second half. We just made a big trade not too long ago. So yeah, the Orioles, but they've been doing good. I just hope they can keep it up. But I still do want another owner because Peter Angelos ain't shit.
Okay, okay. Well, for me, this is definitely a young squad that I think we should keep together. I think when we had it started off with the Manny Machado thing. You feel
Yeah.
me? I think we saw that we can grab
How,
young.
how he let him go to San Diego? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. How did we let him leave? And I think what happened is our Orioles management saw like, yo, we grabbed Manny Machado, a young guy. The next time we get a chance to grab some young guys that can go right away, let's keep them. Let's not be cheap or let's not think that yo they might not be the next big thing. Let's work on it. Let's see. And right now, I mean, far as with these Orioles players right now, all jokes aside, bro, we know who the top guys is. None of these guys on the Orioles are top guys. These are young guys who are coming together, playing together as a team, doing that thing. I don't hear nobody on none of these baseball channels talking about here's the star from the Orioles doing this. No, it's a collective unit. If you look at this, it's a collective unit. Their best power hitter is one of my favorite players, Gunnar Henderson. You feel me? Luckily, he hurt right now, but that boy is an animal. He's a beast. Um, if you go look at the guy who creates the most runs, you just said his name, Rushman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's the guy who brings in who generates the most points, basically. And you feel me? He's not even a top hitter. You got the person with the most stolen bases, Jorge Matado. You feel me? That's what I'm
Machado,
saying.
yeah.
This collective unit. RBIs, Anthony Santoro. Then home runs, he lead Anthony Santero, and then it's a best batting average, Austin Hayes. I mean, they are all over the place right now, being a collective unit. Yo, usually back in the day when you was, if I was to name those stats off, 9 times out of 10, your star player would have had 3 to 4 of those stats. I just went down there. Only one guy got 2 of the stats. That's Anthony with the home runs and the RBIs, but everything else is split down. The guy who get the most the one who puts the team in the most position to get points, the guy with the best batting average, the guy who is the best power hitter. Like that's 3 different guys. Well, basically 5 different guys right there in those 6 or 7 categories that I just named. So I like what they're doing. 70 wins is huge. I want to know what the record is for the most time in Orioles history for wins, but I think it's like 80 something. I could be wrong, but I think it's like 80 something wins. But I mean, this is good. And then what? How much season we got left? We got for the rest of we got the rest of this month, and then we got the rest of September. So I mean, I can't wait to see how I finish it off. And I hope. Well, I already know we're gonna make the playoffs. They'll be the games that I'll be at. They'll be the games that I'll be at. So keep doing what you're doing, Orioles. And I was having a conversation with my grandfather, who's a great. He's a not great. Well, he's a huge Pittsburgh Pirates fan, and if he wasn't a Pirates fan, he'd definitely fuck with the Orioles. But he's confident that if the Orioles was to play the Atlanta Braves, that they would beat them in the World Series. But that's later on for the debate, so we want to see. Um, Next up, topic 6. Basketball is my first love, and I cheat on it sometimes with the NFL and even college football. So tell me right now, which you are most excited to see when football season comes back? And we talk about college and NFL. What are you excited about?
Oh man, just the games. And then we got football on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Sometimes like Wednesday if a D3-2 playing, and on a Friday. We basically gonna have football damn near every day of the week, man. I love it all the way up until February. Uh, Ravens, of course. Looking forward to us doing all Doug Dizzle getting back to the playoffs. Hopefully getting a home field advantage. Lamar winning the MVP, bringing home that third Super Bowl. My Miami Hurricanes, them taking a step forward. This is our best class we had in 20 years with the 2003 class. Probably winning the ACC. winning a bowl game, taking baby steps. We're not national championship caliber already yet. It's going to take a while. But just winning the ACC and winning the bowl game, and just like I said, seeing some good football, man, on TV after months without it. So that's about it for me.
Well, for me, the first thing I'm gonna say is the first thing that you said is that football will be on every day of the week. That's one thing I love about football and basketball. When basketball season starts and football season, it's a game on every day. You're not missing a game. It's a game on every single day. So that's first and foremost. Next, I ain't gonna lie. Sundays be lit for me, but Saturdays be super lit for me. I can't even tell you which one be more lit because college football be awesome. You get to see, I think college football, and I could be wrong, and I know they'll probably get in trouble with this. I almost want to say sometimes college football is better than NFL football because on college
No,
football,
it's not. That's not. It's a lot of people feel that way because there's more excitement.
yeah, because I was going to say, just like in the NFL, you probably get more of the action in college. You're going to get a lot of blowouts. You're going to get a lot of good games. And then you're going to get a lot of them defensive games that end like 9-6, 12-10, and shit like that. So that's one thing I can't wait back. I can't wait to get back to hear from the underdogs. I love when teams be going undefeated, and then it's that one team that beat them, or it's that team that's not ranked. That's one of you already know, bro. I stay bragging about it since we've been doing this show. I stay bragging about teams who unranked and beat ranked teams. That's one of the best things, and I think sports period right there when you do something like that. Um, Waiting to see who the next Heisman is going to be. I want to see who's going to be the next explosive wide receiver, running back, quarterback. I mean, as far as defense, I want to see who you're going to be collectively. You feel me? Because you could be a man, a good corner, and a good linebacker, and what's the name, but and not mount up to nothing in the NFL. But when you a collective unit like Alabama, like a LSU, like the Georgia Bulldogs, when you're a collective unit, I want to see you straight like that. I mean, especially what Georgia has been doing for these past couple years, I want to see that. I want to see that defense. Far as the NFL, I can't wait to see what Odell Beckham brings to the table. I definitely want him to, even if he just bringing that sample size of what he did to the Rams. If he just do that, that's enough. That's Super Bowl worthy for me. I can't wait to see what my Giants about to do. I mean, I'm a firm believer in keeping Saquon Barkley. But all my friends that I talk to closely, everybody know I'm high on that kid Gray. I'm high on that running back. I think he gonna be this. He can do the same thing as Saquon Barkley. We just gotta wait to see it, but the same thing. I can't wait to see these rookies that's coming into the league who's supposed to be these franchise changing players. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see all these quarterbacks who just got drafted number one. Y'all, I can't wait to see it. I mean, definitely my man Bryce Young. Shout out to Alabama. I can't wait to see how they look. Teams who made the playoffs last year, seeing if they're going to repeat. Saying if teams like the Giants and Miami, I mean not the Giants, saying if teams like the Lions and Miami really going to push it and take it to the next level. Because I think right now, besides the Jets, there's a lot of hype right around if Miami is fully healthy, they can do it. And in the NFC, I believe right now everybody has really got their looking on the Lions like, all right, man, these guys got better all the way around. So I'm looking for a lot of underdog football wins. Waiting to see who the next Super Bowl champion is, Heisman Trophy. I'm just waiting to see all the good things that come along with football. So that's all I gotta say.
Oh man, great show as always, everybody. Oh man, Maurice has some great topics as usual. And sorry we've been away for a couple weeks. We're gonna try to get it together. You know what I mean? So we at least get y'all at least a show a week. Man. We'll be back next. You want what you want? You want to do Tuesday and Wednesday? What's better for you next week?
We can do next Tuesday.
Okay, we'll do next Tuesday around the same time, 8:30. Man, some pretty good topics. We're gonna talk about the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight. Definitely going. That's
Mm.
probably the first part we talk about because we ain't touched base on yet. Talk about some football, NBA stuff, music. We like to mix other stuff in there. So Tory Lane situation. Just giving y'all a preview. But thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, man, it's always good to do this with y'all, man. Co-host do your thug dizzle.
Hey man, as always, man, it's another great show, another great opportunity for us to give y'all something to be entertained off of. As always, if you're looking for me, you can follow me on Facebook. My name is Maurice Savage Jr. If you can't find me on that, which I know you will, you can find me on Instagram, I_AM_the_the Pharaoh. That's me, baby. It's DB life or no life at all.
Yes, sir, everyone. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Be great on your way to the figure eight and always. And I mean always. Remember the hashtag KTSE. Keep that same energy. Be your host, Justin P. and my MVP co-host, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. See you guys Tuesday, 8:30. Like I said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. All the links are right there in the description. Share it. I mean? Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Like I said, Thursdays, check out The Way Love Goes with Maurice and my guy Gary. Talk about relationship stuff, family stuff, community stuff. It's a pretty good podcast. So check it out. And I'm going to try to hop on there for when he do men's night.
And two,
Uh,
yeah, a couple of weeks we got Fellas Night Part 2, and we definitely want
yeah,
you on there, man.
yeah. I'm gonna make myself available. Come on there and get my opinion on some things. So be on the lookout for that. But like I said, love you guys. Have a good night. Have a good rest of the week, good weekend. And I will see you. We will see you guys Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We out.